So how was Brian's second day as a stay-at-home dad? It somehow went worse than the first day.
Although I think she has RSV.
Oh my god, why? What's the matter with her? Is she breathing okay?
Well, I was Googling the symptoms and
If you feel like she needs to go to the hospital, take her to the hospital. I'm gonna leave work. I'll be home in like 15 minutes. So everything was okay with her, it just turned out that she needed to be burped. Well, in an effort to be a little bit more positive with you, there is a good part of that story. I don't think there's anything good about that story other than that she was okay, but what's the silver lining there? There's always just so many secrets in your life and bad communication, but at least he told you, that he had a fear when it came to her. At least you can trust that you'll know if something goes wrong. Yeah, that's true. He at least called me, and he didn't hide it or anything. So there's that, but I just don't think it's going to work out if he's going to be nervous like this every day, and I'm trying to think positive, but he can't take care of a baby if he's going to be on pins and needles. So what are you going to do if he's so nervous? I'm not even going to bring up you quitting your job. I'm going to gently bring up the whole maybe Joey does get a little bit more custody. I'm going to push for daycare, and I'm obviously going to push for you to watch Charlotte instead of daycare since he's so against daycare. I'm just going to give him every alternative in the sun so he doesn't have to be stubborn and, be a stay-at-home dad. Well, it's impossible to not be negative right now because every item on that list, he's going to turn down. Well, I need to try. I need to at least try and make our life a little bit easier. And maybe after these couple days, he comes to his senses. Okay. Hello? Don't bring up the whole Joey custody thing or even daycare. Don't bring any of it up yet. Why not? I was just about to tell him. I just geared myself up. Why? I've actually thought of another solution that you can bring up to Brian. Yeah? I thought of everything under the sun. What's your solution? What about a nanny? You ever thought about hiring a nanny? But aren't nannies I don't know, super expensive? Is that kind of like you're working on Wall Street type of money? Honestly, you could probably find one that's cheaper than daycare, and who knows what the prices are like in Serafina Town. That would cover your problem with Junior being a little bit of a handful, and that would also cover Charlotte during the day. I guess I never thought of it because I never thought to compare it to the price of daycare, but you might be right, especially here in Serafina Town. As a single mother, I must admit, I did dream about having a nanny at one point. I didn't know you wanted a nanny when we were growing up. I didn't know you had that dream. Doesn't matter. Just, go see what Brian thinks of that idea. They told me they'd start a stupid countdown clock for the last supervised visit. Isn't it crazy how my life can be turned into entertainment? I know that I signed up for this, but at the same time, this is my last supervised visit with my son. I'd much prefer it if you just didn't bring it up. Because that's the last thing I want to think about. At least when you had this little bit of custody, I had the hope that maybe one day I'd get to see my grandson a little bit more. But once the custody's gone, that book's closed. And I have to live with that too. I didn't think that... I know you don't want to talk about it. But I didn't think that I would feel so sick as the day approaches. And I'm just telling you because I need someone to talk to about it. Are you stupid, though? For you to not assume you'd feel sick to your stomach giving up custody of your child? Not even custody, supervised visits? You couldn't even just do that? I know what I got into, but I never thought that there's just so many little things. Just never seeing him laugh again, or not being able to be in the same room, or hear him say daddy. I had this terrible thought that You know, I'm never gonna hear him say dada at this age again. And I know, you know, he's gonna grow up eventually, but it's just crazy that, like, who knows the next time I'll ever see him. I'm never gonna know him as like a 10-year-old or a 7-year-old or it's, you know, when he goes through puberty. Well, I don't know what to say. I've said everything that I can. You're not changing your mind. You're not even trying to fight it. So I'm just hopeless at this point. And I really don't even like thinking about it. You're so cold as a mother. You've always been that way. You're so emotionally withdrawn. And you just can't comfort anyone. Even your own kid. Like, you can't just say something nice to me. The only one, honestly, the only one that's been helping me through this is my girlfriend. We also just face the facts that you're being catfished. Can you stop with the term catfish? I know you learned that online and you think like you can just keep using. I talk to this person every day. I know who I'm talking to. And emotionally, I've had deeper conversations with her than I have with you my entire life. So don't give me the catfish thing. You know nothing about online dating, okay? I'm gonna stop myself right now. You know, part of me feels like you're just giving up custody because you still have to kiss Miranda's ass. You're divorced from her, have no obligation to her anymore, and you could be your own man, and I still feel like you're trying to impress her. I've told you time and time again why I'm doing it, and it's the best thing for my son. It's the best thing for my situation. I'm not in the position to be a dad right now. Mentally, I make too many mistakes. For you to think that I'm just doing this for Miranda, I don't do nothing for Miranda no more, okay? She's my ex-wife. I could give two rats' asses about her. You know, it's very rare that I hear you say you're doing this for your son. The one that it affects the most. The very sad thing about this is, and I'm sure anyone can agree on this one, it's that you don't even have a good enough reason to tell Junior why you let mommy have full custody of him, and when he gets older, you're not going to have any excuse for him. All you're going to say is, yeah, that's what I did. I let mommy have you full time and I never got to see you again for no reason at all. That's not going to hurt his self-esteem one bit. There's a lot of things that Miranda did wrong, and she's not perfect. And I think she needs to take accountability for a lot of things, but I'm taking accountability for the things that I've done. And if I had to give Junior a reason why I let his mommy have custody of him, it's because I owe it to his mother for how much I ruined her life. So there, she can have her kid.
You know, Miranda, sweetheart, I feel confident about tomorrow. I feel like this whole being a stay-at-home dad thing is kind of like a football season. The season that started out the way I planned, lost a couple games, but I'm confident that I can take it to the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling a little bit more confident about watching them while I'm at work, but I did want to talk to you about...
To cut you off, but I just feel like I was overthinking things. I'm Charlotte's father, her flesh and blood. You know, I was being a baby with this stay-at-home dad stuff. I should know how to take care of my own daughter. I shouldn't freak out about being left alone with her. There are so many dads out there who have it way worse. There are so many moms out there who are doing it by themselves. And here I am complaining when our life is pretty good, you know?
Okay, but babe, while I'm at work, I'm happy that you called me when you had a scare, but I also can't go to work this week and then you call me for like an RSV scare or another false alarm because I can't keep leaving work.
Well, I may have overreacted with that, but I also believe that it's better to be safe than sorry, right?
I also can't have you calling your stepson a pain in the ass. I tried to let that roll off my back, but that bothered me a lot.
Alright, I get it. I had a couple bad days, and I probably scared you with how I reacted. But am I not allowed to have bad days as a stay-at-home parent? Are we not allowed to struggle taking care of our children?
Ryan, every day I internally praise you, and I'm so proud of you for attempting to be a stay-at-home dad. I find it incredibly brave and attractive. But no, you're not allowed to complain as a stay-at-home parent. I never got to. That's just how it goes. You know, there are plenty of stay-at-home moms out there who have horrible days, who don't know how to move forward half the time, but they do. And that's just part of the job. You know, you have to expect to have really rough days as a stay-at-home parent.
All right, fine. I'll handle things. Maybe I need the tough love.
You know, I've never seen you so stressed. I didn't think you were capable of being stressed out like that. And it was the first time that I felt so bad where, I don't know, I may have considered letting Joey have a little bit more custody.
You would rather do the unthinkable and let that man who doesn't deserve a centimeter of custody to have your son by himself. You'd rather do that than quit your job. Your job means that much to you.
Yeah, I would prefer that over quitting my job. If it meant that me and you are happier, if it meant that I don't have to come home and see you stressed out and not the person that I fell in love with. I don't want having a baby and taking care of Charlotte to change us. And ever since she was born, it kind of has.
Even just considering it, I never thought that you'd even consider it. I'm a little disappointed.
I considered it. I didn't do it. I didn't bring it up to Joey.
I always had this fear that I was going to be the one to push Junior to the side once Charlotte was born, or that I would deep down dislike him because of his dad or something, but that's what you're doing right now. You're putting Junior on the back burner so you can earn a paycheck.
Ryan, I think I deserve a little bit more credit than...
I really don't want to argue with you, but here I am, busting my butt so that you can live your dream, and you're
You're not going to guilt trip me for you doing this, because I never once, not once, no one said it, that you have to be a stay-at-home dad. You brought this on yourself. I have presented you with alternative after alternative, and you're being stubborn.
What awesome alternatives do you have for our newborn daughter, my firstborn, a child that I've been looking forward to half my life while I thought I was infertile? Do you think I want to put her in a daycare? No. I want to have her with me 24/7 as much as I can. I didn't want to give up my paternity leave or anything like that, but I had to. But now I don't, and I don't want to put her in a daycare. I don't want to have your mom watch her when I can do it. I don't want to have a nanny.
So you'd be opposed to getting a nanny to watch Charlotte pick up Junior?
I'm watching my daughter, and I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to pick up my stepson from school, I'm going to drop him off from school, and when he gets home from school, I'm going to give him a snack so he's not cranky.
And what about the businesses that you had before you met me, that you worked so hard to build up? If anyone understands what it's like to have a personal life interfere with your career, it's me. And what about that, Ryan?
There's one person who would run my businesses for me while I stay home with the kids. But they want a lot of equity in my businesses.
And who's that?